Hello and welcome to Sports by Compian. My name is Steven. I will be going ahead and talking to you guys about some excellent sports we got lined up here for you today. We got everything from rugby to hockey to the new spring football league, and we're going to be covering all that very, very exciting information here. I wanted to start off here talking about a little bit of Super Rugby. That is the New Zealand, Rugby League. And I had a look at a game between the Crusaders and the Rebels. The Crusaders are probably one of the better teams there in the Super 12, 15. That part I didn't research. But they are probably one of the better teams in one of the better leagues of New Zealand, which should show you that they're one of the best teams in the whole world. So the Crusaders took on the Rebels. Rebels kept it close in this first half. You know, they actually gave up a try early to, about midway through because they're number 10. The Crusader number 10 also plays on the New Zealand All Blacks. He's a starter there. Just found a gap, exploited it perfectly, and finds his number 7 who's waiting for him when the fullback makes the tackle. Early lead for Crusaders. They're going into halftime, though. The Rebels managed to get a penalty and get one more kick. And so they kicked it through the uprights. That game is 7-3 at halftime. However, the second half just absolutely got away from the Rebels. Crusaders were kind of the better team probably throughout this whole game. Like, they just had such beautiful ball movement. Like, the passes were usually right on point and just a perfect flow to them. One thing you'll notice about a huge difference between watching, US Rugby, MLR, and watching New Zealand Super 12 or whatever rugby it is, the flow of the game is so much faster. These guys are flying around. They are literally getting tackled, and about 2 seconds later, that ball's coming back out, and for good riddance, because for good reason, because the counter rucks are serious in this league. People are coming after them, constantly trying to counter ruck the ball, so constantly getting it out fast is a big job for those scrum halves, but the Crusader number 10, once again, just absolute masterful work. He continued this in the second half, just finding gaps and just getting it to his playmakers who streamed down the line and made plays for him. And, man, these Crusaders started rolling in the second half with about 28 unanswered points before the Rebels finally were able to get some late tries, headed out of the game to limp out of there, I believe, 20 to about 34 or so. It just, the Crusaders had perfect passing. They started getting some scrub kicks in there as well. The Rebels had a couple times where they were able to get down there and counter ruck, but ultimately just never really had the ball very much. The Crusaders dominated time of possession, dominated perfect passes. They had some passes that were like skipping 4 or 5 people and just allowing their guys to get out into space by themselves and make plays, and perfect support lines. Their number 7 had 2 tries just by being in perfect position to support his teammates and just getting tons of tries that way. So, yeah, shout out to the Crusaders, just absolutely dominated those Rebels. I was probably going for a little bit for the Rebels just because they have a cool name, the Rebels, what's not to like. And, for their part, I think they tried to do their best, but it's just hard to contain a team that was flowing as well as these Crusaders were. The Crusaders were almost hurting themselves more than anything. A couple of the penalties going in the Rebels' favor, but the Crusaders hung on here, never veered away from their brand of rugby, and continue to just absolutely pound it at these Rebels who couldn't hang on any longer. Anyway, did want to go ahead and talk a little bit of NHL hockey, since we are here in the playoffs. So going through that, we kind of just wrapped up the second games of everything. There's still a couple more game 2s. Nope, actually, I'm sorry. All the game 2s are a wrap. We saw Dallas take on the Calgary Flames, and Dallas won that one 2-0. We saw the Nashville Predators play against Colorado Avalanche. Colorado won that one 2-1. I didn't see the Florida Panthers beat the Washington Capitals. I didn't see the New Zealand. I didn't see the Rangers beat the Pitt either. But I did see the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's some of the games we're going to start off with. I took a couple quick clips from some of the highlights I found on YouTube. Shout out to these guys. We'll go over their YouTube channel. We'll go out there, check out their work, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. But I just cut out a couple clips here I wanted to show you guys to give you an idea of what I was looking at and, what I thought was interesting about it. So on to the first game here. We had Toronto versus Tampa Bay. Now, obviously, I'm probably going to be biased in this game and go with Tampa Bay Lightning. They had a good showing after getting completely destroyed in the first game, as I understand. I believe it was about a 5-0 game or so. Tampa Bay versus Toronto, the first game. So the second game, they had to come out strong, and they did. They scored early, got up 1-0, got another one, it was 2-0. Maple Leafs actually came back, got another one. It was a 2-1 game, but Tampa Bay never let up the pressure and just continued to pound the puck and continue to really try to get more goals. And, here's
Campbell, Michael punching up top to Giordano. And Matthews tried to flick it back for Giordano on a give and go. And it's a 3-on-2 the other way. Kucherov across, all in front. Hagel scores. Brandon Hagel punching up top to Giordano. And Matthews tried to flick it back for Giordano on a give and go. And it's a 3-on-2 the other way. Kucherov across, all in front. Hagel scores. Brandon Hagel, a minute 33. Campbell, Michael punching up top to Giordano.
They were able to rally here, and they won this game ultimately 5-3 because Toronto had a really nice late surgence in the third period here. They managed to score another 2 goals before the game wrapped up, making it closer than Tampa probably wanted it. But either way, Tampa Bay is able to skate out of there with the win. Good for them. Next game I saw was, as I mentioned, the Nashville Predators versus the Colorado Avalanche. Did want to say this guy right here had a freaking really great game. The only reason this game even went to overtime is because he had like 20 saves or something ridiculous. Mr. Ingram himself, I don't know how many of these other players, but I did hear Ingram enough times in these highlights to learn the guy's name. Just played a real good game for the Nashville Predators. Tons of blocks, but ultimately...
And now Darren Helm on it first for the Avs. At the line, Taves, McCarr to the inside, and it's blocked. Back to Taves, and he scores!
So a couple things I want to point out there.
And now Darren Helm to the inside, and it's blocked. Back to Taves, and he scores!
But good for Colorado. Honestly, they probably were the better team here. They had handled the Predators in the first game, from what I understand as well. One of the only teams to lead their series 2-0. And yeah, they really, I think, showed it throughout this game. Like I said before, the only reason this game was in overtime was because of Ingram. Avalanche was all over the side of the field for most of the side of the ice for most of the night. Just continuous shots on goal. And yeah, like I said, I think the better team ultimately won this one. Good for the Predators, though, especially that goalie. Ingram had a heck of a game. The other one I checked out was the Dallas Stars versus the Calgary Flames. And I was like, where are these Flames from? Where the heck is that? And then I was like, oh, they're in Canada. That's why I didn't know them that well.
Mangiapane on the attack, drops it off to Backlund. Backlund shoots, stop, rebound. Mangiapane stick cutter, another shot Hannaford. That's stopped by Ottinger. Stars on the puck.
I'll show you guys that play because ultimately this was a very defensive battle, back and forth, and that Dallas goalie, I believe that's only his second start in the playoffs, and he managed to pitch a shutout against the Calgary Flames. So good for him. Big defense too, as you can see here. His boys aren't letting him stand against this alone. Ultimately the Calgary Flames got a little frustrated towards the end there when they just couldn't get through and gave up yet another goal to Dallas. Good for Dallas, a good rally game after they had lost their first one to the Calgary Flames. So I'm sure they're happy about that, being 1-1 this series. So ultimately a pretty good week. A buddy of mine is the Dallas Stars, so I was happy for his team to win. Tampa Bay Lightning took care of business. We got Game 3s tonight of Tampa Bay Lightning for sure, so looking forward to that. Hopefully they're able to pull this out. But yeah, ultimately this was a defensive battle here between the Calgary Flames and the Dallas Stars, one that the Dallas Stars were able to pull off and win. Moving on, guys, to the Spring Football League. Your very best The Rock over here with week 3 of some spring football.
Won the full start right there. Here we go. Quarterback sneaks floater. This time falling forward. And that ball is out. And it looks like Birmingham recovered. That's right when the ball comes loose. Watch 33 coming from the left side of your screen. And he jumps over that contact with his right arm. He reaches down, and then you see the ball pop.
and just like ball came right on out. Now 33 didn't even actually really hit him that much. That was mostly the quarterback just straight up dropped that. So I think you get a duality of different things here in this league so far. So, you know, as you can see, the production looks good. It's Fox that's doing it, so it just ultimately looks good. You do see a lot of dumb errors and pretty foolish things ultimately that let you know this is a minor league football, you know, not quite the NFL, and not even close probably for that matter, probably not even as good as some SEC college football. But, you know, shout out to these guys out here making some money to play football. Good for them. We're going to go ahead and do some highlights here. By the way, this is the Birmingham Stallions taking on the New Orleans Breakers. These are both the 2 undefeated teams here at the USFL. And they are taking on each other in Birmingham, which all the games seem to be taking place in. So, ultimately, New Orleans turns over the ball there.
Here, J.Mar Smith out of the pocket. Throws high along the sideline. For the first quarter here, J.Mar.
Shout out to number 16, I want to say, for the New Orleans Breakers.
Smith out of the pocket.
First of all, he bullies it from the tight end, and then he just
throws high along the sideline.
Catches it. So good for him. Shout out to number 16. Heck of a play. Bullied it away from that tight end and made a beautiful interception. So, like I said, you do get some pretty cool plays in here every once in a while. Some highlight-worthy things, if you will. Shout out to my boy Victor Valentine's too, by the way. You know, he has a couple videos here that I took some snippets of. Good stuff. Quality work.
The play calls. First down. Pressure from everywhere. Marlon Williams. Running room. Slips a couple of tackles. Big run by Williams. All the way to the house.
Like,
Tackles.
what are we doing? I don't know why that quarterback's so excited. He threw like a 5-yard.
Pressure from everywhere. Marlon Williams. Running room. Slips a couple of tackles. Big run by Williams. All the way to the house. Williams by Williams. Room. Slips a couple of tackles. Big run by Williams. All the way to the house.
Good job. So, early score from the Stallions to get up on top.
The crowd in their favor. Here comes the pressure. Scooby Wright on the blitz. Slaughter hit as he throws and still completes it. Johnny Dixon with a big catch. And
Cat pass.
Scooby.
Pressure.
And they've got the crowd in their favor. Here comes the pressure. Scooby Wright on the blitz. Slaughter hit as he throws and still completes it. Johnny Dixon with a big catch. And they've got the crowd in their favor. Here comes the pressure. Scooby Wright on the blitz. Slaughter hit as he throws and still completes it. Johnny Dixon with a big catch. And they've got the crowd in their favor. Here comes the pressure. Scooby Wright on the...
Proving himself out there. And then you see some ridiculousness like this.
They get it off. Here comes pressure again. Slaughter hit. Ball comes out. New Orleans gets it, but they'll be brought down for a safety. But they lost the football again. To Birmingham recover.
Missed that. Ultimately, the Breakers quarterback got sacked in the backfield, dropped the ball. His offensive lineman picked it up, but then he also got hit and fumbled the ball as well, which was recovered by the Stallions. However, it was ruled on the field once the offensive lineman was picking it up, one of the legs of the Stallions was touching him, so he was down by contact, therefore giving Alabama a safety, which put this game at 19-13 going into the deep into the fourth quarter. Tough times for the Breakers. Ultimately, the Stallions hung on to win this one, I think about 22-13. You know, it was ultimately a very close game, as you can see, between the Breakers and the Stallions. And I think you'll see more competition between these two teams. But for now, the Stallions got the best of this one with sloppy play like this from the Breakers. Breakers actually had a blocked field punt too, which is apparently a pretty common thing in the USFL. So, went ahead and checked out my other favorite team, of course, the Tampa Bay Bandits, over here taking on the Houston Gamblers.
To the sideline, caught by Dillon. First down for Derek Dillon and more. Dillon got a block. Dillon's got the speed. Dillon's got a touchdown. To the sideline, caught by Dillon. First down for Derek Dillon and more. Dillon got a block. Dillon's got the speed.
Guys, you see some good plays. Like, good for Dillon. Like, obviously he's pretty fast, but let's not pretend like this is NFL level stuff.
Sideline, caught by Dillon. First down for Derek Dillon and more. Dillon got a block. Dillon's got the speed. Dillon's got a touchdown.
Their quarterback had a good game. Their running back had a nice long run, ran over a bunch of bandits to get in there. As you can see, in the fourth quarter, Houston was leading this game.
Do it just long enough and executed well, other than the hold.
Galix to punt, blocked up the middle. Squirts free, scooped up, and down at the 5-yard line.
Some help.
Getting them right back into the game. They even got the ball back late and kicked in a final field goal to go ahead and win this game by about 2 points. So shout out to the Bandits pulling out a nice close early win there. Very happy for them. Pretty cool. We'll watch more of this in the future. They are now 2-1. But unfortunately for them, they are going to be taking on the Birmingham Stallions this Saturday. So that's tomorrow. Let's hope the Bandits can hang it out and get it going. Didn't see the rest of these games, but I've heard that Jersey won. Maulers are having some really tough times. They just lost a 27-0 game, I believe, against Michigan Panthers. And like I said, the Philly Stars are also looking for another win after 2 losses. So, exciting times. Once again, love to support this kind of football. Ooh, let's take a look at this. Some helmet cam videos. It's kind of cool. Got going.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a touchdown! That was smooth, right? Let's go.
Center and guard.
You want one squirrel or race it? Here we go. So that one's right open. Brown Chevy.
Let's go, boy! Let's go! Let's go! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I told you! Let's go, boy! Let's go! Let's go!
Alright, bro, calm down over here.
There was so much.
It's enough. Yeah. Some pretty interesting playoffs going on right now. Lots of good stuff to watch, guys. Get out there and watch it. But before I let you go, I did want to shout out our non-sponsor sponsor, Halo Exteriors. If you are in the Illinois area, we got all your roofing, siding needs covered. Anything you need as far as gutters, all that kind of stuff, construction-wise, give us a call. We will absolutely handle it for you. Solar-wise, we got you covered throughout most of the state. You do not have to be in Illinois for us to be able to give you an excellent price on some solar panels. Take back control of your energy. Stop renting from the utility company. Own your power, and contribute to greener energy too. Stop supporting the oil companies. Those guys are reporting record profits with their with the oil companies like Shell are reporting record profits in their quarter. Meanwhile, gas is as expensive as it's ever been since I've been here in Illinois, so kind of crazy. Should probably switch to solar and get to better energy. Anyway, guys, this has been Sports by Compian. I do appreciate you tuning in to this lovely broadcast, and I hope you all have just the bestest of days.